This is not a jigsaw puzzle love. No matter how hard we try, the picture is never complete. Always pieces missing, lost somewhere in the miles and oceans between us, or left in other lovers' hearts, forgotten in back pockets or old books. Or maybe they're on the bottom of the lake where our eyes met for the first time. We do not complete each other. We do not play by my mother's rules, which is to say, we spent too long looking at the box, at the daunting, completed image, that we forgot to see the now, see the scattered mess across the dining room table that has begun to spill onto the rug beneath us. All our days spent hunched over an outline, we became trapped in our own shadow. Maybe the weight of the world became too strong, the ever-increasing doom that lingers in the air around us. I used to think our love could illuminate darkness, but the lights are off now and I just can't seem to find the switch. Maybe I never had butterflies in my stomach, only fear, only palace walls disguised as windows, a facade of feelings that were never fully real. When I was young, I thought the only way to love was to surrender my entire being, to lose myself in their eyes in hopes that one day I'd find my way back. But this time was different. I was learning to love myself so much, I forgot to learn to love you. Maybe one day, when I open a different box, I'll find some of our missing pieces sprinkled where they do not belong. And I hate to leave before we are complete, but I can't stay and watch you try and fit into places you don't match with any longer. And I'm sorry for leaving this mess, but I cannot pick up your pieces without breaking them into more. Maybe we were never a jigsaw puzzle love, never meant to end in euphoria. Maybe it's okay that nothing fell into place, because I want you to feel complete. One day. Just not with me.
It's Michaela, sometimes I go by Mac, and this is my poem at 20. I would like to give a content warning for mentions of sexual assault and self harm. So, at 20. Years after I was 20 years old, filled with apologies never received for the places they touched me and the nightmares no one would hold me through. I told myself I was sorry for what I'd done to me, pocked with lines and burns, scars still searing and untouchable. At 20, I became subdued flames with weekend treatments of hotbox cars and unknown fingerprints left in my skin. I told myself I was the right kind of love because I knew what the wrong kind looked like. Years after, I was 20 years old, partially filled with peace no one gave me, holding myself together because I learned how to. Today, I tell myself that I'm strong, that I'm resilient, that it is okay to be who I am. At 21 years old, I am forgiving myself. I am imperfect but genuine love. I am choosing peace. Today, I told myself there is more, that I'm not done fighting yet. One day, I will be proud of what all of this pain has made. Thank you.
Please don't apologize as if it's going to comfort me. Please don't, because while the sentiment may be nice, pity is a feeling I don't want. Please don't, since this interaction is clearly for you and not something I can handle. Please don't, because if I have to turn you down, I will look like the bereaved when I am just angry. Please don't pretend you're proud of me when you don't know me. Please don't expect me to comfort you. Please don't ask if I'm repressing feelings, because how could I not? Please don't congratulate me on the bare minimum, because it trivializes how difficult it was to pull myself from bed this morning. Please don't make this harder than it already is. Please don't ask how I'm doing because I don't have an answer. Please don't come up behind me at the grocery store because I will cry when I just want grapefruit. Please don't try to understand where I'm coming from right now. I don't understand where I'm coming from right now. Please just let me breathe.
Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I were to display my memories on a gallery wall. Who would willingly come forward to gaze upon my life's work? Of course, there are always critics desperate for something, anything to say to fill their dry mouths, and in an act of self-indulgence, they spit out a scathing review regarding the 10-piece series of my breakfast rotation. They would say, "This is an awful subject. The plating is empty of nutrition. The crumbs on the napkin aren't even worth my time." That collection is one of the most accurate, actually. And accuracy does not negate value. Perhaps a school trip of 30 uninterested adolescents would walk past my old phases and artistic passions, not caring. Maybe I want them to care. Teens are at a crossroads between insecurity and joy. They would understand me more than my own peers. Teens are at the center of repressed emotion. Will a loving couple stand in front of my first real kiss and take a selfie, and then take another selfie, and then decide that no, this pic would look better if we positioned ourselves in front of another portrait? Something with love blooming in its brushstrokes. Will some quirky art kit stand in front of all of the flowers I found in heavy books over the years and treat them like a Monet? Like a Van Gogh, I know my sunflowers are not as bright, my lilies not as pastel. I wish that I could bind all of these flowers, some fresh, some almost dead, into my books, into the library of my mind, so someone will call them beautiful, call them important. Who is my curator? I have never met them. I'm not really sure. Maybe I have. Do I curate myself? That may be true when I choose what to remember and what to repress. I admit I only put on the showing room floor what is most beautiful. Sometimes the most gorgeous framing surrounds the most disgusting subject. It is an act of remembrance, I tell you. If I could sit on a red velvet bench in the middle of my long gallery, I could look upon my existence with the eye of an observer and see all that sculpts a person from the most unrefined clay. My gallery is my anatomy. There is a Grecian sculpture of my body, a testament to fat phobia and transphobia, tucked into the back left corner because the stomach rolls that were carved were a little too big for some people, the chest a little too wrong for some people. Maybe I am some people. If I am an art gallery, I must be losing my funding. My joints ache, my eyes are tired. I just want some restful sleep, some respite from this day-to-day grind. But I am trying to raise a little hope for myself, as all good vanishing galleries do, by loving myself a little more every day, one step at a time, even if most days I take 2 steps back. Thank you.
In the eyes of the Colosseum, I see a world with colors from pastel pinks to baby blues and perfect purples, with tall, carefully crafted branches created to combine comfort and cohesion into the expanse of my mind. The world is beautiful. The bark on the trees bellow with the birth of pain and beauty in my bones. But the pain has passed. I am no longer possessed. My abilities, I can now digest the space between you and I, you the moon, I the sun. You rotate around me like you missed someone. You learn to love me or not at all. I am enlightened, no longer small. The trees call out to me with their woes about the weather, yet I still enjoy the snow's creeping condensation in my heels, holding the cold's critical chemicals in my brain until it can't conceal itself any longer. The world is tough, but I am tougher. My fingertips touch and tremble upon my tongue, who refuses to be tamed. My heart always insane, wanting more and more to gain, even though I'm already full. It's so easy to get lost in characters and compliments, when rather I think of the brush of the shoulder or the take of the hand. Simple to do, hard to understand. I stand in the eyes of the Colosseum, looking at the world, seeing the stars, sensing my place at the edge of the horizon, laughing so hard I can't see straight.